huge red flag. I will not work with someone who, again, 30 likes and over 100,000. You're a macro influencer? Nah, nope, no way, no how.
Lunch with Norm.
Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast. Today, well, we're talking a lot about this, and we're talking influencers, but today it's what to avoid when working with influencers. We're going to touch on what are the red flags, the ideal situation when reaching out to influencers, and most importantly, how to find them. All right, welcome to Lunch with Norm, the e-commerce and FBA podcast. Okay, like I said, today, what to avoid when working with influencers. Our guest is an Amazon Live host, influencer, entrepreneur, and new mom. She started by posting her visits to some of New York's top food and travel locations after expanding to products and daily lifestyle content. She used her knowledge and marketing degree to start her own business, building brands and influencers to reach their full potential. Now, a proud owner of GMC Influence, she manages influencers like herself while her husband Josh is in charge of the production portion of the company. Please welcome her. We'll welcome her in a second. We got to get to a sponsor first, but our first time guest, Gina Marie Vega. Kelsey, hit the sponsor. I want to thank Jeff Schick Legal for sponsoring this episode of Lunch with Norm. You've probably heard on the podcast about Amazon suspensions. They're very real. It can happen at any time. And when it does happen, how do you get out of it? How does the little guy like you and me get out of these suspensions without paying an arm and a leg in legal fees? This is where Jeff Schick Legal is here to help. For a very low monthly retainer, for only $89, get access to Amazon attorney Jeff Schick. That's right. You can sit back, relax, enjoy that cup of coffee while listening to the Lunch with Norm podcast, knowing that you have an advocate and a partner in your business success. But wait, just mention Lunch with Norm and receive 50% off the first 2 months. Get the protection you need and visit jeffschick.com today. That's JEFFSCHICK.com. Now let's get back to the show and let's bring in Gina.
Hi, guys.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you, Norm?
I'm doing fine. I have my ups and my downs with this 100,000 follower challenge, but I'm doing it. Oh, big news. We've unlocked the blue lock and now we can make commissions on our videos.
Yes, finally.
2 days. 2 days they're supposed to be approved. This has been our 6th or 7th week waiting.
Yeah, there's people waiting up to like 3 months, 4 months sometimes for that. So
wow. And
it's a lot.
Yeah, something else I didn't realize. Hey, Josh, how's it going?
That's my husband.
Yeah, I know. I've never met, but anyways, I saw him come up. But anyways, one thing I learned is that when they ask you, when you're creating these shoppable videos, so you can go ahead, if you go into the influencer program, you can go ahead and create videos, no problem. But to have them shoppable to get commission so they show up on the product listing or in the related video section, and you can actually make money on them, then you have to have them unlocked. And you'll see this if you go into your Creator Hub and you'll see a blue lock. But what I didn't realize, and thank God for Todd Snively. So he said, these are all the things you don't do. I had no idea. I couldn't find any of this. Like to get the 3 done instantly. Like when Kelsey and I did our first one, we did a Hollywood production, right? Like and it took forever to do. And he's going, no, don't put that up. Don't.
Simple is best.
Put up one shoot, you handling the product, and all
Mhm.
these things you don't say.
Yep.
And I was so lucky because it was going to be so different and they're not published. So we are telling everybody those little tips too. And also Todd does have an incredible e-commerce group where he talks about not only this, but shoppable videos,
Mhm.
e-commerce in general. And I'll talk to, well, Todd will be on one of these days, but man, I'm so lucky, and just talking to everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a lot in the beginning. It's a lot to understand. I know, like, right under where the lock button is, there's,
yep,
like, the community guidelines, but those guidelines are not black and white. They're
right.
not they're very, very hard to understand, and right now there's a lot of, I wouldn't say issues or anything like that, but a lot of going on of everyone trying to figure out what's allowed on the platform, what's not allowed, and as you said, it's us helping each other. Like, your friend Todd told you what to do. There's no real black and white to this. Like, they tell you what not to do, but then you're like, "Wait, but can I do this?" But can I do that? I can't say this, but that doesn't make sense. So it's a lot of figuring out, and these groups and communities really help.
Yeah, and it's you put time and effort into it. It's kind
Mhm.
of like an Amazon account. And I don't know if you sell on Amazon, but
No.
like Amazon, you wake up one morning and your account suspended for no reason, and
Mhm.
you figure it out.
And good luck
So,
getting it back.
and yeah, it could. First of all, you might have to go to like a suspension or somebody who specializes in that. There's 2,500 or $5,000, except if you Jeff Schick Law, $89 a month, just one of our sponsors. But you can just wake up and your total livelihood is gone. And this is
Yep.
what I don't understand about Amazon. I know they're protecting themselves, but with these videos, same thing. This is your livelihood. If you wake up one day, Gina, all of a sudden you wake up to an email and you no longer on Amazon.
Well, have you been here? I don't know if you're a part of the Facebook group of all the influencers and so forth. Did you hear what happened a week ago?
No.
Over, like, I would say 20% of us, our accounts just got shut down. For no rhyme, no reason. Only email we got was that we're breaking operation guidelines. No one knew why, no one knew how. And anything I say here is not on the behalf of Amazon. I'm making that clear so no one comes after me. I am not speaking on the behalf of Amazon. This is solely my opinion, or like just information from my experiences. But a bunch of influencers got their accounts. I'm talking about top-notch people. I'm talking
Wow.
about A-listers to the little guys, um, randomly shut down, and it happened to my husband. My husband just got an email, shut his account down. And we're like, everyone's frantic. So I ran to the Facebook group and I looked and I'm like, oh my God, it's not just us, it's other people. Cause everyone's like, oh my God, my account got just taken away. And we realized we have to have other revenue streams. Two, what did we do? So now everyone's scrambling to figure it out. Oh, did we not post the link correctly? Did we not give disclosures? Because there's a lot of rules in the guidelines about where you're allowed to post associate links, not to post associate links.
Yep.
You have to make sure it's a disclosure on your website that you are earning commissions, which is fair. Okay. But like, how about a warning? Or, hey, can we figure out a system to tell us what we're doing wrong and maybe fix it together before just shutting this down? I understand, like you said, I understand they're trying to protect ourselves, protect Amazon's protecting themselves, but let's work together to figure out how we can make this a fluid system for everyone. And how can we fix this?
Yeah.
Not just, we live, eat, breathe Amazon. We're here for you, Amazon. Work with us. We want to be here. We want to be here. Just help us. So it's a learning curve, but they play no games. They'll literally shut down your account. Thank God my husband, in an hour, after we fixed everything we thought was wrong, in an hour, we emailed support, which their appeal link wasn't working. It was down. So no
Oh,
one could file appeals. So that was another thing. So everyone's trying to email the email they got, and my husband got lucky. Within an hour, it was back up.
geez.
Some
You
people are
know,
still down right now. And it was a week ago.
well, they shut down one of the, I think it was the number one Amazon seller at one point, Anchor, and they just shut them down. And
Anchor, like, oh, I think I have Anchor speakers. Like
yeah,
the
Anchor, their
oh wow.
electronics company, and they just shut them down for no apparent reason. So these guys are selling hundreds of thousands,
Yeah.
millions, Hundreds of thousands a day anyways. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to bring out with this influencer, this is just a tip, and this is the topic we're talking about today, is what not to do, right? Red flags. But
Hmm.
becoming an influencer, this is a red flag. Do not, like, when the Creator Hub asks for 3 videos to be approved, don't put up, this is another mistake we made. Don't put up 4, don't put up 10, don't
Nope.
put up 15,
3 and
put up
wait.
3.
Hmm.
And the reason for that is, if you might draw attention to another video that might not be reviewed, or might be reviewed, that aren't your original 3, and you could be shut down because of that one, or not approved. You can always appeal it, but
Yeah.
we were worried. It took us so many months to get approved.
Mhm.
If we were to get shut down because one of our videos, and we did put up more, I didn't realize we should have only put up 3, but if they would have taken a look at those and they rejected us, it would have been an appeal process. I could have been down for another 2 to 3 months.
Mhm.
That's a quarter of my 100,000 follower challenge, you know?
Yes. And also, you don't wanna put more than 3, because every time, say knock on countertop, you get rejected. You have to take down all of those videos and start from scratch.
Yeah.
So, it's not even worth putting more videos up until you only get 3 tries to apply. So, if you get denied after 3 times of trying to apply for that unlock button, you can never apply again.
Yeah. It
Mhm.
is tough. And even this is a whole other podcast, but this is on how to become an influencer and doing it the right way. And
Yes.
we did have one account shut down, and we know
Wow.
why, but we learned the hard way. So we had to start all over again.
Oh.
But let's talk about today's topic. All this is it is a different rabbit hole, but it's on topic.
Yeah.
But let's talk about red flags. Okay, so the first thing we should talk about is, how can you, or what are the red flags around influencers?
So, when you say red flags around influencers, so if you're a company looking for influencers,
What
what
are some of the red flags saying stay away?
okay, don't work with this influencer
Yeah.
basically. Okay, so basically for me, when I am looking for influencers to work with, or in the beginning, should I even say, is you want to see the engagement rate. If they have 100,000 followers, but like 10 likes on a photo, that doesn't sit well with me. Like,
Right.
you have 100,000 followers, and I'm being, like, lowballing, and you could even have 1,000,000 followers, and you're only getting, like, 30 likes. That means either you bought them or they're not organic, and that could actually hurt your business, because now they're tagging your brand on a, like, almost fugazi account that they're not really doing what they're saying. You gotta look at the engagement rate. That's a huge red flag. I will not work with someone who, again, 30 likes and over 100,000. You're a macro influencer? Nah. Nope. No way, no
Yeah.
how.
Yeah.
So, I would say that's definitely a huge one for me. Also, how frequently are they posting? Do they post once a month? Because if you're a full-time influencer, you're not just posting once a month. That's and also the quality of their photos. Does it look like, I mean, I guess that one has a little bit of a gray area depending on their
Mhm.
type of content, but I would definitely say the quality, the numbers, the engagement rate, all of that stuff. That is the biggest red flags for me. The top, like, 3 things I would say I look for.
Now, when you talked about the quality of the, let's say, the video,
Mhm.
I've been told that it's best not to do the Hollywood production, but to do it more like just an iPhone shot. Um, just one shot, or maybe a couple of cutaways, but
Well,
not.
when I say quality, and that's why I
Yeah.
say it's, like, kind of a gray area, you could be shooting on your iPhone, that's totally fine, but is the camera shaking? Is it clear cut? Like, also depending on the type of content they're producing as well. You could see people who care, who are putting the time and effort, even if it's shot on an iPhone. I don't care if it's shot from your laptop. It doesn't have to be, like you said, full Hollywood. Oh my God, Hollywood production, to be great quality content. Quality to me also means effort. Do they take the time to edit it in the sense of like cut up the clips, make it engaging, putting the time behind it? Because there's a lot of, TikTokers and even Instagram people who do like the vlog style, day in the life of type stuff. And it's super engaging. It looks clean. It looks nice. It's like I said, it's not them holding the phone and it's shaking and it looks like they're going through a whirlwind of tunnels. The sound is all distorted. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what to look. I use an iPhone all the time for my quality, for my content. I normally don't post anything too like this level camera or anything like that unless it has to do with like my Amazon live recaps. But just making sure you can tell when an influencer cares. You can tell when someone cares. And then you can tell the people are like, oh, whatever about it.
Yeah, that's an interesting point because I'm curious about when you're working with your iPhone.
Mhm.
Do you use your iPhone mic or do you use a better quality mic?
I normally just use my iPhone mic, but again, I also make sure it's not covered. I make sure that I'm not rubbing it as I'm recording because
Oh yeah. Hey, I got a beard.
So you understand, like if you're making a video, that's totally fine on your iPhone. And if you're going to be far away from the phone, maybe they make little. Oh, I actually have one right here, coincidentally, like little connects to your iPhone right to the bottom, and then you have like a lavalier that just goes right to your shirt, or you can hide it on the inside of your shirt, and it just picks up the audio. It's not like $100, and you could get these for like 20 bucks, $50, under $100 on Amazon. So, and they recharge, and just keep it in your pocket, keep it in your bag if you want to use something like that. But it's not a necessity, but it definitely does help. There's little things you can do just to show that you care.
So as an influencer, how do you choose or not choose products that you wanted to work with?
I feel who I want to work with is obviously the product itself, obviously. Like, do I want the product? Do I need it? Is it a necessity? Am I happy to shoot it? Also how the companies come reach out to me. If you're
Oh,
like
there
that.
you go. Thank you for saying that. Okay.
So let me fit. So my one of the influencers I manage, she forwarded me an email. It's like, oh, a brand reached out to me. 40 emojis in the email. 40 emojis, right? Like, so can't wait to work with you emoji. Oh, this is our product emoji. I'm like, would you ever send out a business email? I won't even open those emails. Like, don't send me emojis. I don't care how much you're excited. I see people put a little smiley face at the end. Thank you for reading. I could deal with that. But how you come to me really affects if I really even want to work or I even take you seriously. Will I even respond to the email? So that's a big thing too. Is it generic? Is my name in it? Is it just seem like an email blast? How much information are you putting in there? Stuff like that.
I remember, I don't know if you know Gracie, but Gracie Rayback, do you know her? Amazon.
Sounds familiar.
She's an Amazon influencer. She's an A-lister. I met her. I officially met her last year in Mexico. And one of the things that she was saying when she was on stage, her pet peeve were these people who just reached out with an email blast and didn't know the personality, like her personality of, presenting the products. And she said, just going out and putting that personalization and don't throw, I'm talking about the brand's ego in there. It's not about the brand. It's about working together. And some people are just so arrogant when they try to reach out. It's just like, okay,
like
in the
we owe
recycle bin.
you something. Like you're doing us a favor. I don't need you.
Yep.
I don't need you. You're coming to me, right? You're asking me to work for you. If you were going on an interview with someone, is that how you approach them? Absolutely not.
My gosh. And that is so important. So anybody listening, and by the way, this is such a different topic today. Like we are talking about how to find influencers, but we're also kind of going down a few different rabbit holes about influencers. So if you do know anybody, make sure you tag them and let them know what we're talking about today. I know we got a bunch of people on here right now, but this is something that everybody should be listening to because everybody's talking about influencers. And if you want to be your own brand ambassador, how do you do it and what not to do? Or if you want to work with or find a brand ambassador or influencer for your brands, what do you do right? What do you do wrong? And starting out with number one, do not just give them an email blast, and do not be arrogant. That's
Yeah,
the
just be
most important
humble and
thing.
be nice and be honest. Like when I reach out to a brand I really want to work with,
Yeah.
I say, I absolutely love your product. I love to sit down and discuss how we can collaborate together. I saw this product on your website and I think this would fit my audience amazingly. You know, let's think how we can do this together. Like, just you want to be like super excited in the email without coming off too pushy or anything like that. And vice versa. There was a doll company that reached out to me. I think they're actually right there in the background. Far Out Toys. Shout out to Far Out Toys. They reached out to me and like it was a really nice. We love your content, Gina. We think these girl dolls would be great for you and your daughter. The fact that they mentioned my daughter and knew I had a daughter was everything.
Huh.
So that was a huge thing for me too. Because I'll get people who reach out who try to personalize their email blast, like, oh, hey, Gina, we saw your page, blah, blah, blah. We love you. And then the next email is like, okay, tell me more about your campaign. Can you send us your Amazon link? Didn't you just tell me you saw my page and you love me? That's why you reached out. Why are you asking for my Amazon profile?
I got a email yesterday because like people are hearing what I'm doing, so I'm posting a couple groups.
Mhm.
My name's not Victor. So it was an email blast, but
Mm.
they made a little problem with the code. So yeah,
Oh my God. Or the worst is when they BCC everyone or don't BCC everyone. And you see, like, I've gotten email blast where everyone's still CC'd on it. And I've actually replied. I'm like, you might not want to have everyone CC'd on it. And I reply with everyone on it. I'm like, you may not want to reply with everyone on here. If you'd like to work with me, please feel free to send me a personalized email.
that's so unprofessional, and
So unprofessional.
it breaks compliance too, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Yeah, so that's crazy. All right.
Mm.
What's the ideal situation when we are reaching out? Like, what should people keep in mind? We've got that email that's going out, a little bit of personalization. Is there anything else that you like seeing in those emails?
When they're reaching to us or when we're reaching to
Yeah, no,
brands?
no. When when you're receiving an email.
Okay. Um, the more information in the email, the better. I feel like what products or what are you reaching out about? Like, do you want me to promote? Because sometimes they'll just send like their storefront, which is
Yep.
fine. In my mind, then I get to pick anything I want. Like if you have a specific thing you want me to promote, send the link of the product in there. Hey, we think you're great for this product. What are the deliverables you're looking for? Are you looking for Amazon live streams? Are you looking for videos? Are you like what are you looking for? Are you also looking for social media engagement and promotion as well? So the more information and specific you can be. Also, when I say this, I feel like I hope I say this respectfully. Come correct in the sense of that don't offer things like, oh, we'll give you this for free. Can you post for free? Like come correct with the budget.
Mm.
Come correct. Like even if you at least offer me something and we work out, we're negotiating. Oh, I can give you all the free products. I literally had people say, I'll give you all the free products you want. Can you post for free?
Yep.
Do you work for free?
That's exactly it.
Do products pay my bills?
Yeah, exactly. I get that a lot with consulting. So,
Mm,
oh, it was like, here's what I charge. Why
mhm.
do you charge that? It's only an hour. Well, I'm fixing your product or problem, aren't I?
If you were
I
able to do this on your own, you wouldn't be coming to me.
right. So
So,
it's so important because that does happen, and I've even received that. And the way that I'm doing it with this challenge is I am providing product, but people are paying me a percentage if I make a sale, and people are arguing with me like, oh, this is another thing that happened. I won't. So I heard this, blah 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 blah. I would be interested in working with you. Okay, great. However, I will not disclose my product unless I have an NDA. Okay, so you're making it a little bit tougher. Like, what what
okay.
what product do you have that I can't see just to see if I should work with you or would work with you? And then it usually follows up with some sort of negotiation on the deal.
Mm. An
And
NDA, I hope I say NDA, right?
yeah.
Okay. I could kind of understand an NDA a little bit, like if they feel like they got the next, I don't know, MacBook or something. Like, you know what I mean? I could kind of, but when you like before, I can't negotiate with you until I see the product. If you want me to sign an NDA, okay, cool. Like, I understand you don't want me to link your or reveal your product to the world, but okay, but come correct if you're gonna make me go through these steps. Come
Oh,
correct.
yeah. So, anyways, and a lot of the times it's newer sellers are just so
Hmm.
paranoid. But like in our group, this is crazy, Gina. In our group, people will either come onto the podcast or just post in the group their products.
Mm.
And that's unheard of in Amazon. Amazon is so close to the chest, but that's what I like. That's, the people at least. I'll listen to the NDA, but if I start hearing all these conditions to work with people, and this is for my other businesses
Mm.
too, my managed brand service or my
Mm.
logistics company, all I know is that's going to be a pain in the butt.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
100%
those
that's gonna
those
be a
are my
difficult
red
client.
flags. It's going to be a
Yes.
pain in the butt.
Then, you know what? I would, in my mind, I don't do the seller part, so I don't know exactly what the amount of work or what the value is to you is. But for me to sign an NDA, I just jacked up the price by like 10 grand, or I'm guessing numbers. I just doubled the price just because I know you're gonna be difficult. I know you're gonna be a pain in the butt, and for this to be worth my time, I have clients like that too. That I know you're gonna be more difficult and more time consuming and more stuff I'm gonna have to do for you. So now that just jacked up the price.
And that just reminded me of another question. It wasn't one that I
Hmm.
was originally going to talk about, but uh, you create an Amazon Live. You
Hmm.
might create other forms of content. And and this is a statement at first, but what I hate seeing, and I've seen it, and I've had a client that he did it, and I told him I didn't think that was right at all, and the influencer caught him. But you pay for the influencer, the
Hmm.
contract. So the contract states, and usually you would sign a contract, but the contract states that the copyright is
Oh, here we go.
for is for the influencer providing Amazon Live, a shoppable video, blah blah blah
Hmm.
blah, and then you find it edited and
All
it's
right, here we
playing
go.
on a YouTube channel or some other platform, and you're not getting compensated for it.
Oof.
What
This
do
is
you
my
think?
number one pet peeve.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's go.
So I've had my videos stolen, my picture put on me personally. They took my live, screenshotted my face with the product, and put it on their Amazon page, used everything. You are not allowed by law to do that. Especially this, since I'm from, I don't know other state laws. In the state of New York, are automatically the content creator, the artist, anyone owns the right to all content and art or anything, owns the copyrights unless permission given to them. I know that for a fact. So the fact that we didn't, I don't even have to say it in the email if I didn't want to, or even if it didn't say it in the contract, by law, unless discussed, you do not own the rights to this content by law off the
Yeah.
bat. So you're in New York State, you're covered by that. But I can now sue you because you did it if you wanted to, but that's a whole nother ball game. But that price for original content is extremely high. I do not hand over files. I do not do anything unless that is compensated. It has to always
Mhm.
be compensated. And it's not like, oh, $50, because now they're allowed to use this for a lifetime. They can now do whatever they want with this piece of thing and say they're making millions of dollars on it. And you charge them $50 or you stole it from me, you're out of your mind.
Yep.
You're out of your mind. And one of the things I like to do most is I even avoid buying rights out straight out sometimes. What I would like to do is leasing my content where they pay monthly, and now that's residual income because now they're paying month to month to month to month to month opposed to 500, 1,000, 10,000 upfront. So now you can lease and you have the rights to use my content on a month to yearly basis for X amount. And now you're paying me over 5 years, 10 years, 2 months, 3 months.
That's and it's affordable.
Yeah, and it's more affordable. So, and you could even see, do you like this content? And another thing is too, is that if they're not paying for the rights, you should post a sign something that you have no uh if your content is manipulated in any way, you are not responsible if something illegal is if it's used for something illegal or misrepresentation, just so you're covered. So God forbid someone steal, like I made videos with dolls, right? And
Yep.
say my daughter's in it. And now they take that content and make something that I don't feel represents me in the best light. But if there's not something signed that I handed over the rights and I have nothing to do with this, someone could come after me and sue me. So you got to make sure that when you're handing over original content, especially your face, your name is in it, that you are covered from every angle, that
Wow.
someone can't manipulate it to sound wrong, bad, or use any words in
I'm
that
typing this down
hurt
if
you.
you
So yes, you should always cover yourself, besides handing over the rights, that you are no longer attached to that form of content, that you are not legally responsible with anything that happens with that content. Because say now they do something where it manipulates where there's children involved, like my daughter. Like, what if they put something up and now they get sued because they, do something where there's an image of my daughter and now I'm involved because I'm the mom, but they manipulated to look like it was something illegal. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So I got to make sure that I had no ties and no knowledge of this. And that has to be in the contract.
right.
So that
Very, very
it's
good.
a very, very slippery slope.
Yep.
Do not even ask me for the original content unless you got a check.
Yep. Yeah.
And a
And
lot of sellers
and
do this. A
you know, it
lot.
sounds like a hard line, but this is somebody's livelihood and they've
Mhm.
spent time to do it. It's not like,
Reputation,
oh,
everything.
yeah, it's not something that, oh, okay, this is something that people will do for free. I know. Here's an example. So I went through film school. So
Mhm.
that's what I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went through film and video. And
Mm.
so what would happen? Oh, every frigging lunch or every wedding, people would come up to me and say, "Oh, can you videotape?" And the word was videotape back then. Can you
Mhm.
video our wedding? Well, that sucks because they don't want to pay me.
Get out of
And
here.
I've got to get my equipment. I've got to get,
Mhm.
and I would do it. And it just happened way too much. And then I stopped it. Nope,
And
not going
also
to do it.
another thing is, even with weddings and stuff like that, they'll ask for the original files. Or even when I'd shoot a commercial for I've done Amazon promotion and shot products before, they wanted the original files. And no, that's not included in the contract. I do
Yeah.
not hand over the original content unless you're paying me. And that will start at 10 grand, 20K, because now I'm, again, that manipulation, that could, God forbid, I'm covering myself. And two, that how much time it took and how much hours of footage. I actually, well, before I even became on Amazon, we were filming for a company. I won't say their name. And they assumed they were getting the original files when I was doing their promotion. No, ma'am, sir. And they fought me. They went through the contract, got lawyers involved. They wanted all the original content. I said, you please tell me where you see anything about original content. And I even put in the contract, if you want the raw, and I'm sure you as a videographer and film person, you know what RAW, the file, right? The
Yep.
raw file. You would know that means, especially if you're in this line of work, they were a company that does production. And I was being subcontracted for them as the videographer. And they go, well, you said that this is not, you didn't say that raw files. I'm like, yes, I did. I said raw, RAW dot, are not included. Oh, that's not the original file.
Mm.
What do you mean that's not the original file? They got lawyers involved. We had to do agreements and stuff. And we eventually came to a price and negotiation and agreement. We had to put it on a hard drive, mail it to them, everything like that. It was a whole to do. Make sure, number one thing is here, make sure your contracts are bulletproof and state
Yeah.
very clearly what you mean.
So even if I don't agree with this, like
Mhm.
templates, like there are places out there, and I think it's still available as AppSumo called Creators Content, and it's for anybody who creates anything, boiler templates, which it's a good starting point. But like for me, I wanted to show a proper contract. I
Mhm.
paid $1,500 for this contract to be solid. And it was an IP lawyer that I know in Belgium. And
Mhm.
I did it and I put it into our presentation. And one of the things that were highlights, because I did get dinged on this, by the way,
Mhm.
in my early years when I was doing film,
Mm.
that I didn't, because the contract, even though it was in the contract, because it was such a big point, I didn't have them initial beside a point, a clause that said that they would like that this is that they would not have the rights to the copy. They won. They won. And and this was all just small claims. It wasn't a big deal. But the
Mhm.
reason the judge came back said was that it was like a 15-page contract. And if it was a substantial clause, that I should have had a place for them to realize that they needed to initial. If I would have had them initial beside the clause, then it was
No
no.
way. So if they sign at the bottom of the dotted line, so every page has to be initialed, is what you're telling me?
Yep.
Or every
Well,
line
no, no. So any important, like something that important.
has to be personally initialed.
Mhm.
So
And
I get that makes sense because when you do a mortgage or selling on a house, there's certain lines they make you initial. So that
mhm.
I could understand. Okay, so that
So
makes
that's just
sense.
something I learned. And
Hmm.
the other thing is, you're correct. Every page on a legal, and I'm not a lawyer. I'm not, that big disclaimer, not a lawyer,
Not a lawyer.
not advice. But for me, my opinion is that every page on a document should be
Should be
initialed.
signed.
Yeah.
Well, I learned my lesson with that, and now I have a friend who goes over it with me and everything like that. But let's be honest, like as far as Amazon, you have sellers overseas. They sign something, say they break the contract. Are you going over? Are you really going to go to? How is that going to even happen? What are you going to do? Realistically, what are you going to do? But you have to make sure to protect yourself in the steps that you take moving forward as well. As far as payment, I never start a project until I'm paid at least half to 75% up front, if not full.
Yeah.
I don't even start filming until that. And you have 24 hours to pay me when this goes live if we did like a half upfront, half like thing. And if not, everything's taken down in 24 hours.
Yeah,
Done.
and I mean, you could in this world of social media, you could go out there and blast the person, but it
How does that
probably will
make you
come.
look?
It will probably come back on you. So
Yep.
again, just something I learned: take the high road, and
Yes,
there's going to be
100%.
scumbags out there. Yeah, they got what they wanted, but karma will pay. And there's so
Hmm.
many people that have screwed me around, and it's just all right. You know who you are. You're not ever going to hear from me. I'm not one of those people that are going to go and tell everybody about it. Well, I'll tell Kelsey about it.
I'll tell my people next to me. I'll tell my husband. He knows everything.
Yeah. But one of the things I mean, we've been just talking about, this is such an interesting conversation, but hey, look, we have a great giveaway today. First of all, if you're interested, hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people, you get a second entry. And
Ooh.
yes, Gina, why don't you mention what we're doing today?
So I decided to team up here with Sir Norm, and we are giving away a mystery like little package. So we're gonna pick someone. You're gonna tell us well, once you get picked the winner, you'll email them a little bit about yourself. So like, what are you into? I have pets, I have kids, I'm allergic to this or anything like that, just so I know what to put in this mystery little gift box for you. And we'll send it on over to you and hope you enjoy it. And if you really hate the product, then like email me or email them and let me know, like, because then I'll feel really bad. But I try to do like I try to personalize it a little bit. So tell us a little about yourself. It'll be a nice little, Amazon product and so forth. And again, this giveaway is not directly from Amazon in any way. This giveaway is coming from me myself. So no association. I don't get sued or anything like that. But love to send like a mystery care package to you guys.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Awesome. So if you're interested, hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people, you'll get a second entry. And by the way, just because I'm learning all this stuff,
Mhm.
and we have done this before, but I'll throw in on just as another teaser. I'll go 30 minutes with somebody, and if you want to learn some techniques about going live. So a lot of people
Mm.
just kind of stay away. They don't know how to do it. They're afraid of it. we'll go
It's
live.
so it's simple but time consuming, and that's the part people get scared of how much time. It's not like a microwave, result as they call it, an instant result. I just learned that term the other day. Someone said that, like, it's not a microwave result. I'm like, oh, I like that. That's cute. So this stuff is so worth it. It is so much fun. I learned about how doing all this during the pandemic, and it is so much fun. But is it time consuming? Yes. Do I recommend it? Absolutely, because it is so worth it. It's fun. You could be your own boss. You get to engage with people. There's such a good community here that everyone's willing to help you too. So, like, that's how I met Norm, like, from the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony of Down Under Bedding. He's the one who introduced us some great quality products. He was one of my clients first, and then we started working together. I know he's an influencer as well. It's so much fun to do here, and just follow the guidelines. All I can say, guys, don't just assume anything on Amazon. Read the guideline. Read everything before you start. Please ask questions. If there's something you're not sure of, please ask. Please ask Amazon so you're covered. If they try to take you away, that's the one. And now apparently you can't do giveaways on Amazon.
On Amazon
Live.
On Amazon Live?
So, as of 2 days ago, someone was shut down because of it. Because legally this is from what I was told, and again, I am not speaking on any behalf of Amazon or anything. But in the guidelines, it does say you're not allowed to ask for customers' information. You can't ask for their address. You can't ask for any personal information. You can't make them make a purchase for a giveaway either, which I don't think I've ever seen anyone show proof of purchase or anything like that. But technically, you cannot ask for anything personal through Amazon Live.
Wow.
To them, it's a liability. So if you say you won my giveaway, right? I would have to say on live, hey guys, send me your shipping. I used to think I was covered if I said shipping address, not personal address.
Yeah.
But it's too high of a risk now. So everyone's paused all like giveaways or anything like that. A really big influencer got
everybody does it. I see it on everybody.
This is as of 2 days ago. This is as of 2 days ago.
So, like, for us, for example, we'll give away either the products of the week, products of the month, or a gift card. And what we always say is take a screenshot of the follow us, take a screenshot and email us or give us your email.
That's what I used to do too. And now it's not worth the risk for me. It's not worth the risk anymore. And we're just patiently waiting for Amazon to tell us, like, I would hope at Amazon, if you can hear me, do like a live seminar on exactly what you want from us, what we're allowed to do, if we're allowed to do giveaways, how do we go about it? Are we allowed to tell them, hey guys, reach out to us via email and we'll talk there?
You know, the difference between Walmart and Amazon is that Amazon does everything. They're the ones hiding in the shadows. They're like the stalker. They're like the, just that person that I don't even want to get into it, but they'll never tell you exactly what they want. Yet Walmart, and I'm dealing directly with them. So Walmart, they'll have people and they'll say, hey, yes, we want to let people know about the updates. We want to let people know about our terms of service. It is night and day working with the Walmart team. Like, try to reach out to Walmart or Amazon and say, hey, Amazon influencer department, can you come on, or can you tell us? No, figure it out for yourself.
Walmart I think their reason for doing that is trying to weed out the ones who don't take this seriously, who aren't reading the guidelines. But I get kind of why they do it, but at the same time, if we email you for help, all I ask is a simple, hey, yes, this is okay. Hey, not, this is okay. Or, something where I get some type of response. That's totally fine. I am grateful for Amazon. I am so grateful for their platform. At the same time, it's been a very winding road, winding road. And like you said, I wish it was just more black and white a little bit sometimes, and we just had more hands-on help. You know what I mean? Like, that would change. But are they trying to make it difficult for a reason? Who knows?
I don't know. And like, I do know a lot of this is driven legally, right?
Yep. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So they're watching their back, but come on, guys. And the reason why it's so vague is because if they give details, then there's a problem if something goes wrong. Now it's a legal thing again. But vague, lawyers love vague, you know?
I
So
would be happy to sit down and talk to Amazon. I'll even sign an NDA. I don't care. Like, as long as you help me. Like, even if you want influencers to sign NDAs about the information that you talk about how to help their account, I feel influencers would jump on that just so you could help them and they could learn. Like, even
yeah.
if there was like a summit where like a Zoom call where all of us can get on, we'll sign that NDA and just explain to us what you want from us. That's all.
Yeah.
We just want to know. We don't want to get because some people, this is their only source of income. And they're making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not quoting anyone or saying exactly, but there's people who make a lot of money and support their families. Don't rip the rug out from under us if we don't even realize we're breaking a guideline, or if we didn't realize we were doing it wrong. We thought we were doing it, but we're not doing it 100%. We just explain. That's all.
Yeah.
We love you, Amazon. Help us help you. Help us help you.
Oh my gosh. And I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. But next question for me, and Kelsey, we'll miss the one sponsorship today because we've just we're almost at the top of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a couple of questions before we get into the other questions. But how do people search for Amazon influencers?
Whew. So that's been another thing. You can't. So if they used to, I think they might have updated it, but they used to not be able to search for Amazon influencers. Let me see. You might have to do it from the Amazon Live page now. Let's see.
I think that's where you go. Yeah.
So you can find who's currently live right now. I think they started making a section. Oh, I don't see it. Hold on. Can you search for influencers by name? I don't think you can anymore. So it's a little bit tricky finding us. I'm not going to lie. So if you're if you go to amazon.com/live, you'll see anyone who's live, upcoming live streams and stuff like that. But if you're not following us, it's kind of hard to find us. I'm not going to lie. You kind of just got to sit on the Amazon Live page and find us, or follow that influencer on other social media platforms and get their link.
Okay.
I'm looking right now. Let's see. If I type in myself, real mom stuff. No, see, my profile doesn't come up if I just search it in the Amazon search bar.
See, if I went over, and it used to be on the live page over on the left-hand side, you could go into a niche and you should be able to pull up all the different influencers.
There's a browse page and it'll say like electronics. But I don't think they have every single person. It's only the people who've been live most frequently, like the last 24 hours, who's been live. So you can search live streams by topic. So food they have, wellness. I'm looking at it right now. Baby, media. So if I go to baby, you'll see the people. Oh, I'm on there the last 7 days. So you'll be able to see the people who've been live in the last last 30. I think it's the last 30 streams they post. So I've seen things up all the way back from January 11th and so forth. So I don't see anything where you can search by name or anything like that. That's the only tough part.
Okay. All right. Okay, Kels, just looking, we're getting close to the top of the hour. Do we have a bunch of questions?
Yeah, we have a couple questions. A couple of them were about finding influencers on Amazon. So we kind of covered that, but let me just read out Luke's. He was saying, he tried searching for an influencer on Amazon last week, and he could only see who was live. But he asks, how do I find influencers on Amazon? Maybe is there a database or some sort of software? And what is reasonable offer to approach an influencer with that would not be disrespectful, but also not be too fast?
I would. Do you want to answer that, Norm, or you want me to?
Well, one of the things is how long is a piece of string? It's just it could be all over the map. I'm not sure about you, Gina. You've done this way longer than me, but I think that the way that I would approach it is have the influencer come back to you.
I was just going to say, ask for a rate card.
Yeah.
Just ask for a rate card. Be like, what are your rates? And if they shoot way out of your budget, be like, hey, I completely respect, your rate and so forth. This is what my budget is. Can we meet somewhere in the middle?
Mhm.
Can we do this plus commission? As long as you're willing to work with them, you know, I feel like it's not disrespectful. Ask for their budget. Normally, as the influencer, I'll ask for your budget. As I'll ask the seller
Yeah.
for a budget just to see where their head's at. But if you come at first, I think it's definitely respectful to say, "Hey, what's your rate card, or what's your ongoing rates for these services? I'm looking to do X, Y, and Z." That's
Very
it.
good. Okay, next.
Okay, next question is from Rad. Let me just pull it up. Is it better to get an influencer to promote the product or an affiliate to promote your products?
Hmm. When they say affiliate to promote your products, does that mean like
An Amazon associate. So they might have it on a web page or something like that. I mean, the
it's kind of the
influence,
same thing, but it's different. I was gonna say
yeah,
that's a little bit of a gray area because most Amazon influencers are Amazon associates
right.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
You want both. For me, you want the
Mhm.
live, which is the brand exposure. You want the shoppable that helps. That's the big sales driver. And then if they're promoting it additionally on their social media with the associates link, that's a bonus.
Right. So, and when you're going live, one of the things to consider is
Mhm.
that the live, and it'd be interesting to hear what you have to say about this, but
Mhm.
to go live, this is what we're telling people. We need a discount, a deep discount to get people's reactions. If they want to buy this
Right then and
incredible
there.
oral mouthwash, and they're cold traffic, well, if you're giving them 5% off or 10% off, it's not going to happen. If you give them 30 or 40 or 50% off, you'll get that sales velocity. And that doesn't mean that you have to have that ongoing for a year. That could
Mm,
be for a day, a week, whatever you'd like.
I
Um,
agree.
but especially if if you're having slower sales, it's like a lightning deal. Get out there, blow it up, get some sales, like a sales velocity going for you. And but don't expect, and this is one of those things too, Gina. People have asked me to do this, but they either don't want to give a discount or they give such a small discount that you say it's not going to happen.
And also with that being said, the two things that if there are any sellers out here listening, the one thing I could tell you about Amazon Live and shoppable videos, if I'm sure everyone knows what shoppable video is, and I'm sure if not, another episode we could
Yeah.
explain all that. Those are the videos we make. Lives equal brand exposure. Shoppable videos equal long-term sales. I tell this to everyone. I am transparent. Do not expect even an influencer who has thousands of views at a time does not mean they are getting 1,000 sales. It's not going to happen. Even with 30% off, 70% off, it's never guaranteed with sales driven on a live. It's more about the brand exposure, but that discount will extremely help if you want sales right then and there.
Yeah.
And like you said, 40 minimum and up, you need a discount to do. But brand exposure is the key to keep your mindset. Lives equal brand exposure. Shoppable videos do more long-term sales, but nothing is ever guaranteed. So please be like understanding with the influencer no matter what. So, but those two together is the dream package.
Right. Yep. Very good. Okay. I have one last
Go ahead.
question, and I'm just kind of curious. Have you ever had any negative experiences, and what were they, or what was it?
With working with an influencer with Amazon Live.
No, we're working with a client.
Oh, a client. Okay.
No names, no names.
No. That would never.
No, I know.
I don't need any loss.
Yeah.
I would definitely say some negative things are not getting paid.
Yep.
Not holding up on their end. Definitely have had that before happen to me, and that's why I stopped doing the whole I get paid at the end of the campaign. I always get paid up front, especially with those who are a little smaller, like fish. Like if I'm working with Fisher Price, I kind of trust them a little bit more. I think they're more scared of us bad mouthing them.
Yeah.
God forbid. But negative experiences is only like a very few that weren't, maybe they had their expectations up here like I said, they thought 1 million views is 1 million sales or vice versa. So I am very, very transparent about that from the jump. Very transparent. And if you're not happy about that, you think you could find someone else who could deliver X, go for it. Those are probably the only 2 things I've ever had problems with, where it's like, "Oh, I worked with you, I didn't get 1 sale." First off, it's been like 48 hours. Calm down. Or even if it's a week, it could take up to 3 months sometimes of doing this to see real jump in sales. It all depends on your product, how long you've been there, how much are we pushing it, and so forth. So that's the only real negative thing I would have is people don't have realistic expectations sometimes.
Yeah, and even the expectations, I guess, should be in contract form, because a lot of the times this comes from managed services that people have very, very selective hearing.
Mhm.
You could say it 10 times and it's over somebody's head.
I make
So
sure it's in writing and in the email.
yeah,
So when we're going
very
in
good.
email threads, I said, "We are not guaranteeing any say blah, 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 blah."
Yeah. Yeah, and I've had this happen where we provided the service. Okay, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but we've provided the service. We provided a snippet, and we told people we record. So of the guarantee, the person acknowledging it was a guarantee. They did a chargeback on PayPal. PayPal received all the information. They say no problem, but it's happened twice with American Express, and both times, without even looking at the files, they just get they just the chargeback.
No.
There's nothing you can do unless you want to take, like you said, if you want to go to New York from Toronto and fight somebody in court.
But what if you go back and appeal it on PayPal and say, like, "Here, this was the contract we had."
What happens is it goes to PayPal, and then it goes over to American Express. So PayPal agreed. PayPal said, "Yeah, we're recharging the
Mhm.
client,"
But then
and
American
then
Express blocked it.
American Express blocked it because
Mm.
they're idiot. I'm not saying it, and it just cut that little piece out. But anyways, yeah, they didn't honor the
Mm.
contract. It's only happened a couple times, and what we do now is if the product is, or if the contract's over $1,000, it's ACH. We just have to do that.
I honestly think knock on countertop never had like a refund or anyone try to take money back or anything like that. So thank my lucky stars. I've always thought about that,
Yeah.
And I think also on PayPal there's a way to like not turn off, but like say that you're not including refunds or something, or in the contract too. I know I've noticed in contracts no refunds or stuff. People
Yeah.
put that in there too. But you're still anything can happen.
And one last thing I don't think a lot of people realize. So I was in a different business, and
Got a lot of businesses.
yeah, I have been. But this business, it took in larger dollar sums, and having compliance with the credit cards, and knowing what those compliance policies are, having a refund statement, having the
Yep.
US funds on a page, having the refund link so people can check out refund policy, and
Yeah.
stating it. Now people may never look at it, but if you don't have it there, that's another thing that
Mm.
people can complain. And if you're not within compliance, it's a huge fine. I don't know anybody who's ever been hit with that fine, but it's a substantial fine for being
Wow.
non-compliant with the payment processors and
I don't even take credit
charge
cards.
cards. Yeah.
I mean, my only main form of transaction is ACH, PayPal, and Zelle.
Yeah.
Those are literally the only 3 right now that I do.
Yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to, let everybody know that there are some interesting things that can happen, but at the end of the day, there's more good than bad. And
100%.
if you're looking for influencers, I hope you learned something today. If you want to be a brand ambassador, there's lots of ways to do it. And if you just want to go and do a side hustle and make a few extra bucks during these crazy times, it's an awesome way to make some dollars, but you just can't, you
It's
have
not
to,
instant.
And you have to read the guidelines.
Yes, read the guidelines and put in the time. Put in a little bit of effort. Don't just flick a camera on and be like, okay, cool. Read the guidelines and try a little bit. Try a little bit.
Exactly. So, Gina, if anybody's interested, before we get over to the Wheel of Kelsey, how do people get in contact with you or your company?
So you could either go to my website, it's www.gmcinfluence.com. I'm not stealing anything from the cars, just clear. That's my initials. Gina Marie Colo is my maiden name. I'm not like stealing from the car company. But also my email is gina@gmcinfluence.com. So either one is easy way to find me. Real Mom Stuff on Instagram. So super easy.
Very good. Okay. Let's see. I guess what we could do is go over to a sponsor and then over to the wheel.
Okay, so sponsor.
Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out to an incredible group of sponsors to help keep this podcast running. The Lunch with Norm podcast would not be possible without the support of the following sponsors: Post Purchase Pro, Clear Ads, Jeff Schick Law, Rebate.com, Honu Worldwide, Digital Blacksmiths, Netfluence, Extreme Power, and Startup Club. Now back to the show. All right, and now over to the wheel. Gina, you've never seen the wheel. You might want to put your volume down.
Oh, okay.
All
Well,
right.
have you seen my husband's live streams? He does like a whole dance party. So I'm used to hearing it from the other side of the house.
Oh, okay.
I'm
All
ready.
right. All right, well, enjoy.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
I love it.
Alrighty, thank you everyone who entered today's Wheel of Kelsey. Make sure you email me, kate@lunchwithnorm.com, if you are the winner. I'll need your shipping address and, like Gina said, some information about yourself. It looks like Brian is our winner.
Yay!
Very good.
All right, congratulations, Brian.
Brian.
Congrats.
There we
All
go.
right, so Brian, just email me, kate@lunchwithnorm.com to get your prize, and yeah, you'll be receiving a mystery gift box.
Woohoo.
Yay.
All right, Gina. Well, thank you so much for coming on today.
Of
And
course. Thank you for
just
having me.
hang back after you go to the waiting room, and just want to talk to you for a second. But it was awesome having you today, and hopefully you'll come back on.
Oh, absolutely. You let me know whenever. I'll do this weekly with you.
There we go. Okay. All right, everybody. So I hope you learned a little bit about the red flags, or what to look for, what not to look for, and how to approach influencers today. I thought it was an awesome show with Gina. Want more great information? Don't forget to subscribe by clicking here. Also, if you want to check out our latest podcast, click over here.
Lunch with Norm.